All right, what is going on, everybody? We are back for our final matchup of the night here as we are kicking it in the Novice League. I'm Rocker Man, back with the one and only Cooking Bagels here for the final matchup. Bagels, I'm sorry I couldn't get the face cam up. The internet, it's not cooperating, and I don't think we want to see an abundance of pixels, so you look like a cute little Nemesis logo tonight.
I could be looking like a cute little guy. I got a haircut,
Ooh.
2 days ago, looking somewhat fresh, with my big ass. Oh, whoops, can't say that. Big
Uh,
forehead. uh, but yeah, unfortunate that we don't have that. But hey, you know what? We still have Rocker Man, Cam, and we'll have some Novice League gameplay on tap for the last match tonight. So I think we're in decent shape.
we do have Rockerman Cam, and we got some. Oh, wrong way. I don't know how to work this thing. There's a Nemesis flag behind me, so that's kind of cool as well. Um, might be coming soon. Soon TM. I don't know, but yeah, it should be interesting. We're heading to the Novice League. Both these teams coming in. We got Genesis versus Vandals coming in 3-4 on the season, and it's been interesting around the Novice League. There's been a lot of talk about the top couple of teams, but there's kind of this big group bagels right in the middle that are all around this like 3-4 record, fighting for that sixth spot. And this just seems like a crucial matchup to determine who could potentially move up into that sixth spot and into that playoff race.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw, well, my match previously on stream, the first one, it was the same kind of thing. Teams with the same records just trying to vie for possession of their respective conferences and divisions, although Novice and Titan both only have conferences this season. But definitely an important matchup here to either gain some momentum or try and stop the losing streaks here for both these two teams to try and push their way forward in this competitive Novice League at the moment.
Definitely. So it'll be interesting to see. I did get the camera back up. It's working for now, so maybe people can see it now. Can see the nice haircut and the forehead,
Big forehead.
and the forehead. That's all right. Um, I've been hearing rumors around the block that for the charity stream that I may be shaving my head if we hit a certain donation goal. So I'm going to see my forehead too. Soon. That'll be in about a month, but yeah, I will.
That's dangerous territory right there.
It is very dangerous, but we'll see. We'll see. If it's for charity, I'll do it. So yeah. But why don't we get into this matchup, Bagels? You got any predictions here? I know Novice League it can be crazy. It can be a throwaway. Anyone can really win here. Do you got any ideas as we head into this one?
I just strictly off bias alone. I'm not exactly an expert, a resident expert here in the Novice League, but I I'm just gonna go with the Sloth Ice. I used to not like the Sloth teams, but you know what? I'm on Sans IGL team. I'm one with the Sloths. I got Vandals here. I'm confident with Mallow and company here for Vandals. I'll say 3-1 Genesis, or
Through a
excuse me, Vandals.
Genesis. Okay, I was gonna say. So he's saying, "Hey, I love the Vandals, and I'm gonna pick 3-1 Genesis."
I was looking at Genesis.
Okay, you know what? You know what? Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll allow it. He's going 3-1 Vandals. The chat actually is rocking with Genesis in this one, 75% to 25%. So we'll have to see who is going to come out strong in this one as we get things underway. We got Genesis in that cool looking light green there, as they've got Threat, Flight Knight, and Humdinger. And then on the Vandal side, we have Mallow, Jolly Rogers, and a Freckly Jinja, which is a nice name. Matches. He's got a matching profile picture for that as well. The Jinja Man himself there with the hair colors. So we'll see what he can do tonight, and we'll see what the Vandals have in store for us here. Is this one out of the midfield? Threat looking for a shot, but it's not gonna go. As Mallow, a Vandals veteran, if you will. We saw him last season, Bagels. I know he was in Novice last season with the Vandals. He's kind of a staple for that team, and he's back here again with the hashtag Stay Hype in his name.
Yeah, and Vandals was a great team last season. I mean, honestly, the lower tier Slothorg teams, the Prospect and the Novice teams, were really successful last season. Unfortunately, they couldn't punch their way for a ticket into Grand Finals. There was just a lot of Game 6, Game 7 series that they were on the losing end of. But they're looking pretty solid here. And honestly, your team, Genesis, I've seen a few aerials on the defensive side. I mean, there was a whiff there, but a lot of good defensive aerials to shut down these opportunities for Vandals, as Vandals got 4 shots already.
Yeah, Genesis, they do have the potential. I've talked to them a little bit. They've been kind of doing their own thing. They've played a lot of games with a lot of Novice League subs. I know Humdinger, he's been busy. He's been busy. He's been going to state and things. It is with his high school, and he's been all over the place. We haven't had him for a lot of games. He is kind of the lowest MMR player, but Genesis really trying to get things rolling with their starting lineup. So very curious to see how they're going to hang in this series against a Vandals team that is pretty solid themselves as a Savior Middle is going to come out from Flight Night. As the Vandals running back in it, Jinja can't connect, but Mallow, he's going to send it out and send it up high. He's going to look to stay with it too as he shoots it towards the net off the backboard. And Flight Night, they're going to find the clear. Is this game still at a 0-0 ball game as a save comes through from Threat trying to rotate back? And, Bengals, I love myself some 0-0 ball games, but it's not often we see them in the Novice League.
Yeah, usually, I was just thinking the same thing. Usually some sort of crucial mistake will come out, as good shot right here for Flightnet, but a big save from Jinja to keep that one away. First real save they've had to made. Their back post shot, but again, sent away from Jinja. But, I mean, just to mention on the Novice gameplay for a second, I mean, I always have a bias that, I'm casting a Novice game, it's not going to be that exciting, but when you have 2 teams of equal skill like this, I mean, a little bit of a slower paced game for sure, but I mean, you're looking at these 2 teams, they look controlled, they're looking for passes for each other. I mean, there's whiffs, that's going to happen in Novice League, but they look composed, and we'll have to try and see who's going to break the tie here, and more offense and defense to come and throughout the series, as the net's going to be open, and Jinja will capitalize. No, he will. Oh, he will. I wasn't quite sure what was going to happen there for a second.
My goodness, that one almost saved away, but you see the double commit in the corner, and Humdinger almost got back to that. That was almost a god tier save, but Vandals find the back of the net, and yeah, they've had a lot of the pressure so far, and they're the first ones on the board. They're finally able to break through.
Yeah, and that was a really good attempt. Honestly, just like I was just saying, the gameplay impressing me here in these Novice League matches every season. These players are just getting better, even though it's the MMR. They're just learning new things, the mechanics. Here's Threat with a counterattack, but Roger up. But yeah, he just couldn't make the save off the sidewall. That's a tough read for any player. I mean, even in Challenger, I think that'd be a tough save for someone to make it. He almost pulled it off.
Yeah, that's true, and I agree with you. They're novices. It just seems that they just keep getting better somehow, some way. I guess that's just Rocket League. Maybe we're just witnessing Rocket League. I remember, I played all the way back in old season 1 when things were happening there, and compare then to now, and maybe we're seeing this in the small sample size of Nemesis seasons where they just keep getting better, better and better. But now we're down to the final 30 seconds in Genesis. They've really got to get something going here on offense. Is Humdinger going to try to dribble this one, but Mallow, he's all over it. Is this one blocked out as Flames trying to get the clear, but it's sent back towards the net. Threat going to make the save, a little bit of a double commit. Is this one hanging around Humdinger now, trying to get it out with the final seconds, ticking away here for Genesis. They've got to get some sort of counterattack. The Vandals are going to be taking this one as a shot towards the net. They're going to put a dagger in with 3 seconds remaining. Jinja finds his second.
And again, the corner play here for Genesis, not that great. I mean, Threat pushing at a net a little too early. Perhaps could have just waited for a shot, because likely in Novice, I mean, we were just commenting on how the players are getting better, but I'm not expecting a line drive shot from a Novice player in that situation. So I think if Threat just stayed a little bit more patient, he could have had a better read on it. But either way, they would have had to make a full court carry with just a few seconds left. And I gotta say, Jolly Roger's car is... it's very festive right now. I like it. It's only It's only December 1st, but I'm all about it.
Hey, I'm always one to rock with the holiday cards, so I agree with you there, Bagels. We love to see it, and if you're a Vandals fan, you love to see that win. It was, a close game, but you see the shot differential there, Bagels. It was just enough to allow Vandals to put 2 home and take that victory there.
Yeah, I mean, Genesis, they're sitting at 4 shots, but really only one of them was threatening, and it was that really great save from Jinja, probably, I think it was about a minute and a half, 2 minutes into the game, and it was a really good save. It was a good back post shot, but ultimately Vandals and company able to parry those opportunities away from Genesis. But I mean, essentially a 1-0 loss. It ended up being 2-0 with 3 seconds left. But I think Genesis could easily come back here and get some good opportunities. I'm looking at Flight Night here. I've seen him on stream a few times last season, and he looked like a really good player. So I'm expecting some good things, some mechanical plays coming out of him headed into game 2.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see. I know I did see Flight Night last season. One of the reasons I drafted him is he was on the pawns last season. Went to the draft this season. I had a chance to pick him up for Genesis. I love what I've seen or with these guys. My draft worked out really well, being the GM of Genesis, and we'll just have to see if the chemistry can continue to build here. I think that's the one thing, Bagels, a lot of times in these seasons, that's what it comes down to. You can have a lot of really good players, but, if you can't find that chemistry, it doesn't matter if you're in Novice League, if you're even in Titan League, you can have a lot of good players, but if you don't mesh well together, you could have a rough time. And this one, a counter-attack, gonna slide into the net. Jinja makes Genesis pay for the overcommit.
Yeah, and again, just like you were talking about chemistry, this time it looked like it may have been Humdinger and Threat were just on top of each other, and nobody ended up diving on the ball. And I'm honestly not sure if either of them should have gone for the ball. Again, I mean, this is what I told my novice players back when I had Wisps. Unfortunately, the Wisps, the 019 Wisps are no longer a thing. Honestly, probably a good thing. Anyways, just in general, I tell my lower tier teams to just be patient, because unless you have a star player on the other team that's somehow miraculously hitting double taps or really good mechanical aerials when you're this slow at MMR, just play patient, wait for the other team to hit the ball. It'll probably be a slow-paced shot on the net, and just wait for a mistake. And same thing on defense. If Threat or Humdinger just waited for the save to come out, they could have easily gotten a cleanup goal. But you got to find the balance between aggression and patience here in Novice especially.
Definitely so, and here's an opportunity for aggression, maybe. But Jolly Rogers is back. As Mallow clearing this one out of his corner, trying to stay with it, gonna get it by 1. His Flight Night now stuck in his corner. Last man back there, Jinja trying to come through, but Flight Night making a huge save on the goal line. Now Genesis sending this one down Humdinger towards the net, but Jinja with a great clear, sending it back. Threat has to make a save. And he does on the goal line. Is this one out of the midfield again? Flight by 1, but Jolly Rogers is there. This one's sent away to the side again. Humdinger gonna find a demo and a 50 through. And actually, look at Humdinger. I'm respecting the car there too. We got a couple of people in the lobby, Bagels. I know Jolly Rogers, kind of his name there, but Humdinger, he's looking a little bit festive too. In this one, you love to see it.
Perhaps I just didn't notice it in the first game, or maybe he changed cars in between games. But either way, as Mallow's, I think everybody's kind of festive right now. I don't know. Maybe we just missed it on the way in as opportunity for Vandals coming in, but Humdinger, the man we were just referencing, putting this one away. And it's looking like when Genesis is in the right spot, it's when their positioning is tight, they're making the right plays. It's just that one mistake earlier a minute ago in game 1. It's just if they can cut down these double commits, and not even double commits, but over commits, they could contend with Vandals here. But only sitting at 2 shots right now, and they gotta find the chemistry, like we were saying just a few minutes ago.
We did definitely see that, and now they're gonna look at it again. Mallow, last man back, and make the save. A nice one there as the Vandals trying to rotate back. Genesis hoping to keep this one in. Threat, he gets it by 1. Jolly Rogers is there looking for the block. This one pops up high, could be an opportunity, but it's shut down by Mallow. As again out of the midfield, Flight setting it up. The touch comes through, but wasn't expecting the whiff there. As this one now under a minute 30 remaining. Vandals still holding on. A 1-goal lead. Genesis has yet to get on the board, Bagels, and they gotta just under a minute and a half to do so, to find 1 goal and give themselves some chances here, and hopefully don't go down 0-2 in the series without any goals.
Yeah, and that was a big opportunity actually. Humdinger in the corner, but he just couldn't find contact, and they finally get a shot now. But there was that previous drive of offense. They had 3 opportunities on net, and they actually didn't even end up getting a shot. And again, more solid aerial plays coming out from Genesis on defense, but it's just not transitioning into offensive play right now. And got 1 more minute left, and they're getting a lot of demos on their side, but they need to maybe pull a demo off on their own. So they're getting hounded here the defensive half, and they need a big clear, a bump or something, a pass play, but it's not gonna come through as Mallow again gonna get a big insurance goal late here.
Yeah, another game here where the Vandals they hold on to this 1 goal lead and then just wait for the right opportunity and take it home at the very end, adding another one to the lead. But I think you're exactly right with Genesis. They're not finding those offense and those big clears. And I was actually looking at those big clears. I'm glad you mentioned it because it looks like on the Vandal side, they're finding these power clears. And it looks like Genesis, their clears end up being super soft touches just to the corner, which is allowing Vandals to stay on the offense. And now, as the time ticks away, looks like they're going to be able to hold on unless Genesis can make some Christmas miracles happen here. The final 10 seconds, Threat trying to clear it out. Jolly Rogers sends it back in, Flight Knight to the corner, and now Threat looking to stay with this one, finds a 50, but doesn't matter here at the end as that one touches the ground, and the Vandals are going to take game number 2, and they are up 2-0 now in the series.
Yeah, and I mean, I was expecting Vandals to win this series. I said in a 3-1 fashion, and they're not really dominating Genesis in terms of goal differential here, but definitely in the possession game, they've outshot and outcontrolled Genesis both here in game 1 and game 2. But that being said, Genesis isn't that far behind. I feel like they just need to throw caution to the wind, but play it smart at the same time. I think they need to be more aggressive, but also be careful about the overcommits, because that's how they've been getting scored on. They're sending 2 up, and then the 2 players they have been sending up don't go for the ball because they're either getting confused or maybe they're both backing down from the opportunity. But if they can be aggressive and start making Vandals maybe question their positioning, Vandals start overcommitting or just making some mistakes, but they're making good touches on defense. I'm seeing Flight Knight, he had 4 saves there. A lot of good aerial saves. Threat had a big save as well. But they just got to find a way to break out, get a bump, get the power clear. They're getting the soft touches, but they got to mix in some bangers as well.
They definitely do. I think that's, like you said, I think that's the difference here as we're about to head into game number 3. Genesis, they gotta find some offense. They gotta find some power clears. Get this ball out of your zone. Don't keep getting suffocated. But the Vandals, on the other side of things, they are hungry and they would love to have a sweep here and get themselves in good playoff positioning. As this one dropped out in the midfield, Flight Knight, he's going to come through and make another crucial save for his team as he clears it out as Humdinger. To start the offense early, and Bagels, as we're into game 3, Genesis still held scoreless by this Vandals defense. They've got to get one and hopefully get one on the board early so they can get some of their confidence up, because if Vandals start out with the scoring first, it could be a pretty down bad mental.
Yeah, I thought they might get one off the kickoff. They rifled it very powerfully off the opening kickoff, but it just went straight into the corner, and Ginja with a soft air dribble out. And here's a big shot from Flight Knight, but off the crossbar. He's looking for the follow. Perhaps should have left it for Humdinger. Still awkward in front of the net. Nobody finding contact. Perhaps an own goal, but Threat will clean up the calamity on the goal line right there. And they have broken the curse.
And finally, Genesis able to come through there. It just takes a little bit of an awkward ball floating in front of the Vandals' net, and they capitalize. But hey, now we saw it in the last 2 games, Bagels. It was a 1-0 affair all the way down into the last minute, where Vandals in both those games found a 2-goal lead. So we'll see if that trend can hold on the other end this time for Genesis, who were able to score first here.
And I mean, we were asking for aggression. We were asking for the bangers, and as far as the first minute is concerned, they're hitting the ball with power, and they turned it on. I mean, 2 shots in the first minute isn't terrible, and they only had 3 shots to end off game 2. So I think they're already moving in the right direction here.
Definitely so. As we're on game number 3 of this best of 5, the Vandals up 2-0 in the series as some misses come out. Genesis looking for some boosts as Flight Knight is dunked through. The Vandals looking to keep this one on the offense. Jolly Rogers, he's popping it up again. Genesis on the backboard there. Threat going to come through with a nice clear. As he's trying to find a dribble, but nobody challenging. As Flight sends it down out of the midfield. Threat is going to look for a touch there. This one sent across. Flight Knight up the wall. Mallow diving hard to this one off the backboard. Jinja is there, but Threat gonna find a nice little clear out. This one again, out of the midfield. Couple of misses coming through. Flight Knight gonna find a nice touch. Mallow again sending it up high as the Vandals really trying to put on this offense. And actually, Bagels, now that we're closing in the halfway point, I know Genesis been making some nice clears, but Vandals have rebounded pretty well here. They've got a lot of pressure at the moment, and they just keep throwing it at the Genesis, and that is another save comes through from Flight Knight.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing what I asked Genesis to do. Is Kinja looking for the double will find contact, but only straight into the Genesis corner there. But Vandals, they're hitting the ball hard, but they're kind of just sending it at people like that. That's a decent shot for Novice, but Threat has been playing some pretty sharp defense all series. And all the other balls, they've just been smacking off the corner. And Genesis, they said this in game 1, as long as they're in the right spot, they're making the plays, they're making the reads. As I don't know how this went in, but either way, this is big momentum for Genesis here.
Yeah, there comes the second goal. Humdinger, not
Oh no!
not calculated. I bet you they couldn't do that again if they tried. So sometimes those do fall in though, Bengals. You gotta take them where they land.
Absolutely, and Genesis definitely needs this momentum as they are looking like they want this game 3 more. Maybe Vandals playing with a bit of complacency in mind, or just Genesis trying to rally up here, start this reverse sweep attempt. And they're playing a lot better, and I think even Vandals, they're trying to, maybe not so much complacent, but maybe overcommitting. A lot of big aerials coming out, and they're just not making the reads. I've seen Jolly right there and Ginja earlier. They're just trying to go for stuff that they probably don't have any business going for. But as long as Threat and company, again, another big save, I mean, they're standing tall on the goal line and inside the box.
Yeah, Genesis, they are holding on the defense, and Vandals, and they haven't really let up too much on the offense themselves. But now they find themselves down by 2 in the final minute. Can they close off this sweep, or will Genesis send us to a game number 4? This ball pops into the Vandal zone. Mallow clearing it out, but only right at Humdinger, who can't quite make the touch, and he's going to leave it for Threat, who gets dunked out by Mallow. This one popping towards the backboard, trying to clear it across. Humdinger just enough to get it out. And now the final 40 seconds. Threat has an opportunity, but Mallow, he's there on it. Throwing it right to Flight Knight, though, and now Bagels' final 30 seconds. They got to get some offense going through here. Otherwise, Genesis is going to be taking this one, and we could see another 2-0 margin in this series.
Yeah, and I don't know if they're going to get it because the Genesis defense has just been so good, although a big mistake smacking off the sidewall, net open. But Flight Knight racing back in time, and final 10 seconds and counting going to be unlikely as Ginja getting bumped off the ball. Great play from Humdinger, bigger 50, and that will secure game 3 for Genesis to start mounting the comeback. But this is a very weird game, Rockerman, because we said Genesis offense, it was being aggressive and they were putting the momentum forward, but that was only for the first minute because they ended exactly where they started with 3 shots. But they were in the right spot, and that's been the big difference because game 1, game 2, there was 1-2 lapses of judgment where Threat and the rest of Genesis were just out of position, but they were in perfect positioning this whole game 3. It was actually really stellar defense for Novice. I mean, Threat made multiple aerial saves, Flight Knight some big Novice League air dribbles out of defense, and Humdinger had a huge clear off his own backboard. A lot of great plays from Genesis on defense, and Vandals, the offense was consistent. I think they've gotten 7+ shots, maybe even 8+ shots every single game, but that was some of the best Novice League defense I've probably ever seen, I mean, in a regular season game.
Yeah, no, those guys were, they were really putting on the defense, and, both sides really. I mean, there's a couple mistakes on the Vandals' end, but yeah, you're right, Genesis, they did have some good defense, and it definitely carried them in this one as they hold it down. And that's our 3rd game in a row, Bagels. We've got a 2-0 affair, and now heading into game 4. I think Genesis, they have a little bit of momentum to work with, though. But I know on the other end, Vandals could say, hey, you know what, we made 2 crucial mistakes on defense, and if we cut those down, we should be able to take this one here.
Yeah, I mean, the second goal was definitely a mistake, just an unfortunate own goal. But, I mean, I think the first goal was just resulting from some Genesis pressure. And again, another big save on defense. I mean, the defense just might win them the series at this point if they can somehow scrape by. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be 2-0 when the trend continues, or if they can scrape by a 1-goal victory, or maybe even a bigger one as a deficit. But Flight Night combining with Humdinger for a team pinch, and they're starting early again.
That's a novice moment if I've seen one. And he goes to the back of the net. Hey, I mean, the teamwork there, they combine it, put it in, and, you know, another one where they're going to take it. And, you know, Meg, as you said it, if they can, you know, get one of those like that, and if their defense stays as strong as it has seen, as we've seen it in this series, they could be looking in for a win here to try to force it to a Game 5.
And could have capitalized again early, but Humdinger with the unfortunate backflip. Not quite sure if he would have been able to beat out the final defender, but I mean, if they can continue to start early and defense like we've been talking about, I mean, legitimately, as long as they've been in the correct position, they're continuing to make clears and saves. Threat again. I've been really impressed with Threat this whole series on defense. He hasn't quite shown it on offense, but the defense has been big, although a great air dribble from Mallow to beat out 2 defenders, and Ginja will clear that one up.
There goes Mallow with the air dribble. He finds a second touch and it works. And wow, what a play from him coming out of the Novice League as he follows that one all the way home. And wow, what a setup there and what a finish is the Vandals. You know, that one's kind of hard to guard against Bagels in the Novice League when someone's coming up for double taps like that.
I mean, that just kind of reminded of me and my old Honda Civic before I got my new car, just foot to the pedal trying to get up the on-ramp. Like, it'll take 12 seconds to get up to 60 miles an hour, but I mean, when you get there, I'll be dangerous. I'll just be just as dangerous as anybody else on the road, and it took Mallow quite a bit to get back to that ball, but I don't think anybody thought he was going to empty the gas tank there.
No, he had all the boost and he used every last bit of it to get to that one, and he set up his teammate perfectly. And now, oh, is this one? Oh my goodness, towards the net, Charlie Rogers making a save on the goal line. His Flight Night coming back off the backboard again. As Genesis now trying to turn back onto that offense. The Vandals, they tie this one up as a little bit of a double commit comes through on the defensive end, but Flight right back at it. As Jinja towards the net. Flight Night, another save from him, and he talked about Threat. I've been impressed with Flight Night as well on the defensive end. He's picked up a lot of saves. That one a gimme there, but he's put a lot of them towards the net. As here comes Threat now. Humdinger looking to come through on it. As this one's sent to the side and just past the halfway point. And Bagels, I just realized after that play from Mallow there, a great play from Mallow. We're not gonna have another 2-0 game here.
The trend is broken, but we'll have to see if the momentum for Genesis is going to continue. 2 players up, nobody putting it on net, and this could be dangerous here. Vandals can mount a counterattack, but he's pushing it into the corner and a good clear from Flight Night. But I feel like I need Threat to break out on the offensive side. Gets a decent clear here, but he's making safe touches on defense. The aerials are really good, but I mean, this is a problem all the way up into the higher levels is you know you can make a quality touch on defense because you know all you have to do is dish it into the corner. But when you're on offense, you got to do it with precision, power, and accuracy. And Threat, he's just not finding those right now. And I really feel like as he gets another save, I need him to get a big shot on offense because, again, the Genesis offense is struggling. They're only at 3 shots, and they've been around 3 shots every single game in the series. Even though their defense has been absolutely stellar, I need something from the rest of Humdinger and Threat here because Flight Night has really been the only guy stepping up on offense.
And now they're struggling on defense as Mallow, he throws it off the crossbar. Humdinger can't connect, neither can Jinja as Mallow again. He sent this one up high, but the Vandals bailing back a little bit. Jolly maybe could have stayed in there, but he decided to back out as, oh my goodness, Genesis tumbling a little bit on the backboard. Things are getting intense here as they're still stuck in their zone. Another shot, gonna go wide. Flight Night, oh my goodness, dunked through. Is this one still so dangerous? As this one almost could be blocked away. Oh my goodness, Bagels calamity is happening. These guys are panicking on the defense. I think Genesis knows that they gotta keep these saves going, and so far they have, but a shot gonna come through from Jolly Rogers to give Vandals the lead.
And finally, a mistake coming out, and actually that's 2 mistakes from Humdinger. He had a bit of an aerial lift on the previous drive for Vandals, and he couldn't find the read in the corner, and that's like the only 2 mistakes they've made in the past 2 games. It's just Humdinger missing twice right there. And I was getting so nervous. Another big play from Mallow perhaps happening, but a big save to see if they can clear it out. And again, I mean, I'm just so impressed with Threat's defense, but they need more than defense right now.
Yeah, they need the offense in the final 40 seconds here. Otherwise, they're going to be walking home with the loss. As the Vandals, again, back in Genesis' zone. As this one, a double commit comes through, but Vandals able to keep it in. It's now finally a clear Flight Knight. Gonna get it by Genesis, trying to sell out here on the offense. Mallow finds a clear to the side. Flight Knight trying to get to it, but throws it back towards his zone. Humdinger gonna make the touch to the side, but the time is ticking away here from Genesis. They gotta make one more run. As this one blocked by Flight Knight and sent down. Jinja keeping a touch. He's over. Flight Knight on the dribble, trying to get up to the wall. He takes it up high. Can they find a last second goal? They're going to need some heroics here. Flight Knight off the backboard. Can they keep it up? Mallow to the corner, but the ball still alive. Can Threat keep it going? This one's sent down. Jinja, he actually keeps it up there. This ball again gonna have to go the length of the pitch off the backboard. Genesis can't get to it, and Vandals, they hold on. But oh my goodness, that got a little bit crazy there, Bagels. But the Vandals, they hold on and take this win.
Yeah, definitely. Just again, what we saw the whole series was just the Vandals. It was the battle between Vandals offense and Genesis defense, and then the one time Genesis made a mistake, the crack in the armor started to show, and Vandals capitalized. I mean, they got 13 shots to Genesis's 3. I mean, I don't think Genesis cracked more than 5 shots in any of these games, but with that being said, they were still competitive the whole time just because of how good their defense was, but they're going to move on to 3 and 5 now. But if they can find a way to generate more offense, maybe get some better positioning between each other, because I started to see when they started getting under pressure, Threat and Humdinger started getting real close together on defense, and that's kind of where some of those mistakes, you're wasting extra boost that you didn't need to waste, and out of position just by millimeters. We saw in that last goal, it was a mistake from Humdinger, but the defense was just an inch away from making another big save, and I'm interested to see what the future holds for, honestly, both these two teams. I think they're better than 3 and 4.
Yeah, honestly, they both did look really good, and I think you're right. Genesis, they had the defense, the Vandals, they had the offense, and it was an interesting battle to watch. And we'll have to see now as we head on in the season, just passing the halfway point with All-Star voting now open. By the way, make sure you guys get your All-Star votes in there. I know a lot of people are excited for All-Stars coming up next week already, which is kind of crazy to think about that that's happening next week. But make sure you get those All-Star votes in. Links in the chat if you haven't voted already. Make sure you guys go vote for your favorite players. Get them in the All-Star game. You see them on the pitch on under the lights on Saturday Night Rocket League. But yeah, but it will be interesting to see what's going to happen with these two teams as they're fighting. I think that's going to put Vandals. Yeah, actually, looking at things here, we had Genesis was in the 6th seed, Vandals were the 7th seed, so now the Vandals, they're going to move up into that 6th seed, so both these teams right on the edge of the playoffs, and that matchup could be big coming up later in the season for tiebreakers and whatnot, but all in all, I mean, both these teams, a good performance from both of them. Bagels, a lot that they can work on those still as the season is approaching the halfway point.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. For Genesis, I think it was strictly just in a positioning and willingness to be aggressive on the offense. Because if you're not willing to be aggressive on offense, the other teams are going to realize that. And Vandals absolutely did. I think Vandals got close to double-digit shot totals in every single game, and meanwhile Genesis was stuck between 3 and, like I said, I don't even think they touched 5 shots in one game. Because, I mean, they got the defense on lock. They're able to make the touches. They're able to secure the ball into their corner, pop it down, let a teammate take control of it. But they're able to do things individually on defense, but I wanted them to work together out of defense, and it just wasn't happening for them. And meanwhile, the beastly offense of Vandals was just too much. But I mean, they were sitting at the 6th and 7th seed respectively before this matchup. Obviously, Genesis is going to go down, Vandals are going to go up. But I mean, if they can somehow sneak their way into a 5, maybe a 6 seed matchup here, because only the top 6 make it in the Novice, I'd be worried they could pull off an upset in the one of those semi play-in games to make it into the next round.
Definitely, it could be interesting for both these two teams. I think we'll be seeing a bit of them as the race heats up, going down the stretch. So we'll definitely have to see. Like we said, both of them played it really well. Vandals well deserved to win. They held on. Their offense was enough to make it happen there, and they got the shot accuracy on lock in their win. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to all the winners on the night, including you, Bagels. Congrats on the big dub earlier, taking down Bubbly Reaper and the Dragons. You weren't there for the first two games, but you came in when it mattered.
You get off work, you think everything's going well, you make it home, and all the lights are off. And when you got a computer as slow as mine, it takes you gotta fire up the afterburners. And
Yeah.
luckily, we had some people just to fill in some spots. Scion's great, so luckily we were able to come back in that. But definitely, we're reaching that point, Rockerman. We're getting halfway through the season almost, and a playoff picture is starting to be shaped, and I'm getting excited because we all know how exciting playoffs are going to be.
Oh yeah, they always are every season, and you're exactly right. We're getting there. It's right around the corner where we're gonna have to start talking about playoff scenarios, clinch scenarios, who's making the play-in tournament, who's making the final spot in the playoffs. It's all coming up very soon. And like we said, make sure you get those all-star votes in, as that is the next big event on there. And then we're about a month away from the charity stream. Just want to get a reminder about that, because you're going to be seeing a lot more advertising for that coming soon. 24-hour charity stream, December 26th. That's a Sunday, the day after Christmas. So hopefully we can see a lot of you guys there, supporting a good cause. Their Gamers Outreach Foundation. They help out kids in the hospital get access to games as sort of a little bit of relief from stress being in the hospital for those kids. So that'll be a great foundation to raise some money for. So hope to see you guys there on that one. Just as a heads up, that'll be coming soon. You guys will see a lot more about the announcements for that. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. We're ending off the stream here, so appreciate everyone hanging around. Thank you guys for all the subs, all the support. I know Chipmunk and Magic got shout out earlier, but shout out again to them, and shout out to everyone else for hanging around and supporting the stream. It means a lot to us. And yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. We'll be back Saturday with some SNRL Saturday Night Rock League matchups. You guys don't want to miss it. So stick around for that on Saturday, and have a great night, everyone.
I do need you. Can you feel it? The fire.